Welcome back to WHHI-TV News. Joining us now is Heather Rath, who always has so much information to share.
I know, it's been a minute. Sorry, I was out of town and all this stuff, but there's been a lot going on legislatively.
So fill us in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the last time I was here, I talked about the changing landscape of Beaufort County with the elections that were happening, right? Like we have a new mayor here on Hilton Head who's been with us for a year, but again, never in, politics before that. The city of Beaufort mayor resigned, right?
Yes.
And of course, the town of Bluffton mayor, who I was just with, Lisa Sulka, who I love, has decided to not continue, and she didn't run either. So just a lot of moving parts. We have a lot of new council members and new mayors. Larry, of course, won in Bluffton. We have Bridget and Dan that are back in Bluffton. So not a whole lot of changing there. But of course, remember, Larry's seat is now up. So we have two ladies actually running for that. They're both named Emily. We'll talk about them at another time. And then, of course, we have two new council members up in Yemassee, Richie Hagan, and then you also have Mr. Anderson. They're coming on to council. One of them has served before, but still, new and fresh. And then, of course, we have a new mayor in Port Royal.
Yes, Kevin. Yes.
Yeah, he's great. And then, of course, in Beaufort, upcoming to replace Mayor Stephen Murray, we have an election there with two fine candidates. So again, lots of moving parts. And remember, some of those candidates over in Beaufort, they actually are currently in their seats. So there'll be another election to fill their seat.
Remind the viewers when that election takes place.
You know what? In Beaufort, I think it's the 12th of December. I can't really remember, but again, all of those details are on the Beaufort County Board of Elections website.
So coming right up.
And of course, we have a Republican primary for president that we all need to look forward to on February 24th.
How does the 4 years go by so quickly?
I know. So this is a really hot primary. Of course, we're first in the South, big deal in South Carolina.
Yeah.
I really encourage everybody to go out and meet these candidates. I've been able, yesterday I was with Nikki Haley, and that was an amazing experience. And then a couple of weeks before, I was with the Republican governor, DeSantis. So again, it's been nice to be able to talk with these folks and just really get their views.
It is neat. I was able to get out to another one earlier in the year, and just to be able to be literally up close and personal and hear their voice in person is really neat.
It's really interesting. You don't get this if you live in Wyoming or Colorado, right? It's a reason that South Carolina is so important. And again, everybody needs to vote in that Republican primary.
And they're coming to a small town, Bluffton area. I mean, Okatee. Come on, can't do any better than that.
It's fabulous. It's fabulous.
What tips do you recommend to people that are saying, you know what, does my vote even make a difference? If on the small level, like the locals, what do you say to that person?
So I mean, there's been votes decided on by 14 votes, right? There's been elections decided on by 14 votes. I mean, it matters. It really matters. And it really matters in the Republican primary in South Carolina. So
if they want to get a rundown on all these candidates, amazing that you remember these names, just a little bit about them, what's an easy way to find out? I mean,
I always just like to look, if you're looking at the Republican candidates, go to the RNC website. If you're looking at the Democratic candidates, go to the DNC website. They'll have a rundown of all of the candidates listed there, and then links out to their website. There's a couple of really great places to follow in South Carolina. Wes Donahue tracks a lot of great candidates. He's up in Charleston. Will Folks always has his finger on the pulse in terms of what's going on and where the candidates are. Yesterday with Nikki, Ralph Norman introduced her. He's been a huge supporter of hers since her days in the State House. And then Tom Davis introduced her, and that was absolutely spectacular. So again, I'm all over Twitter, but for some of the viewers, if they just want to go to the RNC or DNC websites and see. And then remember, that Republican primary is coming up pretty quick. So starting in January all the way through February 24th, we are going to have a huge amount of candidates coming through here.
Yeah. Heather, always great to talk to you. Very fascinating. You always provide us with such information. So thank you. And we'll be back with more WHHI TV News.